Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. You know, it's nice to be able to come before you and say some, and give you some information that's uplifting, something that you can feel relaxed about, feel good about, smile about, and then maybe encourage you going through your day feeling uplifted. Uh, that is a nice way to feel. But that's the job of someone else. Your living is more important to me than for me to come here trying to stroke you with some stuff that really means nothing but for the moment. I'm concerned about your life, those that will be affected by your living. Not only that, I'm on a mission to make known to all of you that there's a power that's bigger than every government, and that's the power of God, the creator of the whole universe. And I tell you that because basically it's all about mankind usurping the power of God, trying to say they know what's best. And all of the stuff that we're going through is a sign that they do not know what's best. And I want you to know that there is another power that you believe in, but you don't know. And I know you don't know because you're letting this stuff go on. Now, I do know, that's why I'm standing up here trying to still get that information to you. Certain things that happen that brings a concern. You know, I was thinking about some time ago when Trump was running for president or something like that. And he kept trying to bring in Ukraine into the picture and throw the Bidens into that picture. And, you know, that went through a whole bunch of litigation and conversation and debate. And you got whatever conclusion you got from it. Now, I'm thinking about Donald Trump as president of the United States and some of the things that he has said. You know, when he was talking about quid pro quo, I mean, he talked about it all the time, expressing, you know what it means. I do something for you, you do something for me. That's the way the mob does it. That's the way friends do it. That's the way generally people do it. But when you come down to law and the government and stuff like that, you want to make sure that people are held. So you put up law and rules to make sure that they adhere. Because if they don't, there's something that you can do to fill in the blank, fill in the gap. But some people still want to use the attitude of quid pro quo. Usually when they're doing stuff like that, for the most part, it's on not the up and up, but the down and low. And so when you start thinking about all of this money that Trump and his sons talked about, that when the government or when the banks or the institutions within America would not continue to extend to him finances and money, that they never had anything to worry about because the money was constantly coming in from Russia. Money constantly coming in from Russia. Now, when you tie that to quid pro quo, it makes me think that since Trump believes in that stuff, and Trump and Putin is constantly giving him money, that Putin is definitely expecting something out of Trump, not just to stand beside him and say that he trusts Putin more than he does the intelligence of America. No, Putin wants more than that in my mind. And so you go on, and I can see that based upon what is happening now in Ukraine, that it is possible that Putin expected Donald Trump to be able to filibuster his way, to bully his way, and to lie his way through this election and become the president of the United States again. And to me, that also justifies why Trump is constantly spitting out that lie, still trying to let Putin know, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. I haven't given up yet. And he's just lying and lying and lying as a sign to Putin, which also tells me, if they didn't win that quid pro quo thing, that this was connected with Ukraine, that perhaps Trump in office, Putin ready to do what he's doing. United States is going to be backing Putin all the way. The conversation to all of the United Nations, all of the other NATO nations, it's going to be in line with supporting Putin. And that would weaken the powers of the West. You know, that's just something that crossed my mind. I don't know. But I do know that that could possibly be the case. And since it could possibly be the case, I thought I would just share it with you. I had taken some notes down here that what I wanted others to treat other. Oh yeah, I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to interject the fact that the whole message is to try to get people the secret. Wait a minute, let me see if I can give you the secret. Here's the secret, ladies and gentlemen. The secret to life is this. Everything belongs to God. There's a power that we can't see, we can't touch, we can't feel, but everything that our senses can identify is evidence that there's a power, and it ain't us. So, for me, I call that power God, and apparently a lot of others have as well, because that's what we have been introduced to as human beings in America, and I guess all over the world, to a power, and we call it God. Now, when I think about, and I'm sure you do as well, all the stuff that God has put together that hangs together just like it's supposed to. The only time it doesn't is if nature has some cause that is a little bit different than normal, and we will get what we get that we call abnormal. But for the most part, everything is harmony. Everything works together. And it seems to me that my experience with people is that most of us desire the same kinds of things. Joy, fun, happiness. Most of us, all over the world, we want peace and prosperity, freedom and joy, and our dreams to come true. Really, we want what we want, what we need, what we desire. That's all of us. And that's not, when I say all of us, that means it is something that was innate in every creature. Every human being feels like that. I don't care if you in the communist countries, I don't care, wherever you are. You feel just like that. That's what you want. That's because you were built like that. Now, being built like that, the world was set up that way, set up in such a way that you can have that met. Just like the trees grow, just like the grass grows, just like everything grows when does what it's supposed to do when it's fed what it's supposed to be fed. This is where we always want to live that way. But in order to do that, we have to respect, well, some people might say respect the Creator, God, above all else. But the only way you can respect God, and I don't care how you might look at it, I think it'll come back to the fact that you have to respect what God has made. If God made you, you got to respect you because you're a creature of God. If God made others, then you got to respect them because they're creatures of God just as you. And you know how to measure that based upon how you measure yourself with God. Now you know how what brings you happiness, then you got, everybody knows. Just like everybody knows everybody got to eat. Everybody know, hey, you going to get hungry. Everybody gonna know you're gonna want some water. Everybody knows those things. And so when it comes down to those other things, everybody knows because everybody feels the same way. And now we got gifts, special gifts, ladies and gentlemen. Things that we do. Play piano, dig ditches, be teachers, be engineers, be painters, be all kinds of things that we do today, be that. Enabling us to do all of the things that we do today. So that and engage everybody in it because everybody benefit from it. And that would produce enough goods and services that none of us will ever be without anything. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We will not be without anything. And our imagination's constantly expanding. And as that happens, hey, the gifts are provided. And that ugly stuff, like all that other stuff that happens in the world, there's no need for that. Because this is the plan of life. This is the plan of life. This is how you talk about eternal life. This is why you take medicine and start doing cures and not treatment. This is when you start making stuff that lasts. Nobody trying to look at the profit is making sure that it lasts so you're free to do other stuff. Now, this is life. Now check this out. Somebody comes in and tell you just plain and simple as this. Come in just like Trump came in, lying, splitting people up, saying somebody else is your problem. Why? Because the problems exist. The problem do exist. But the solution that he mentioned has nothing to do with the truth. That's just a bigger lie that's taking advantage of the people. The truth is, the problem exists because we're not doing the things the way it should be done. We are stealing. We're lying and cheating the people. Talking about you're better. And those trillionaires who can go fly in space are the products of somebody saying that they're better. The system is set up with allows them to do that. While other people living in shanty towns. That's the craziest stuff the human being could ever get themselves engaged to, unless they don't know the truth. The only way you can be caught on that stuff is because you're blind. The only way you can be talking about following Trump is because you're blind. The only way you can be satisfied with what the Democrats are doing is because you're blind. The only way you're going to let Russia get away with all that stuff it's doing and where all this killing around the world is going on is because the people are blind. God wants you to know you're blind. Now, you're talking about loving God. Take off your lipstick. What got to do with loving God? Take off your fingernail polish. What that got to do with loving God? Let your hair grow nappy. What that got to do with loving God? Stop dancing. What that got to do with loving God? Loving God is caring about people. Caring about people. Watching people, enjoying people as they are, except anything that would cause pain and suffering. So, focus on love. Focus on love. Yeah. Voting. People trying to take it away. You say you're trying to get it back. You think one is love or more love than the other. What the world? I mean, it really is the same thing. It shouldn't be even there. It shouldn't be a question. Shouldn't even be, why? Because nobody's going to suffer anything. Then people say, well, no, that we were thinking that when you became president of the United States, you just had certain basic principles, that you would follow certain basic human guidelines. We didn't know somebody was going to come in as the 45th president that was absent all of those things that we assumed that people just had character. Well, yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. But you know one thing? When you're doing the right thing, you won't be deceived by somebody coming in talking that smut. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to leave it there. I'll go and take a little bit of this time and see if I can promote it. And hopefully, we'll make some changes in our lives and affect the world in such a way that we can see some changes there. Now, what I'm basically talking about is changing it. I'm talking about changing. I'm not out here just talking. I'm not out here just to be saying I did my best. I'm not out here just to be out here saying I'm out here standing up for God. No, I'm out here for one purpose, one other purpose, and that's to change the system to produce heavenliness. That's what I'm out here for. My working is to make sure that you, the American people, and people, at first the American people, because that's like, I have to change before I can ask you to change. We have to change before we can ask any other nation to change. Okay? So we're going to take care of our business. We're going to make sure that America can glow. Like this truth I'm telling you, I know it sounds so good to you. But, oh yeah, but I was thinking that when I ask you guys to let's treat each other right and proper, there was a commercial on television talking about sugar and how dangerous sugar is to your health. And I was thinking, asking you and talking to you about treating other people the way we were meant to treat each other, that would produce the stuff I was talking about. It's like asking you to stop eating sugar. And there ain't no way you're going to stop eating sugar. Stop eating sugar, that ain't the only way. I remember I had a friend who was saying the answer to the problems for a black man in America was just to pack his bags and go back to Africa. Forget America. And to me, knowing people and black people like I do, that was like asking them to stop eating sugar. Black people, masses were not going back to Africa because they've been brainwashed and frightened about Africa. Tarzan scared the hell out of them. No, they're not going back to Africa. But the truth of the matter is, until we are living heavenly, then we might as well be living in Africa. We might as well be living in Russia. We might as well be living in Italy, doing Mussolini. We are Germany, doing Hitler. We might as well, because we're all in the same old boat. If all of the people that lived on earth came up on a given particular period in time, being all the ones that fell short of the glory of doing that which is proper, remember I said almost every human being that ever walked the face of the earth would be in the same room. Failure. Somebody said, well, how could we fail? We didn't know the truth. And just because somebody came talking about they were telling us the truth, that didn't mean we had to accept it as the truth. We didn't know. Yeah, you got a point there. I'm not going to argue with you there, because I tell you this. My life was so useless. I mean, really, I didn't know it was useless. But my actions indicated that my life was so useless until I was just, wasn't nobody killing me. I was just throwing my life away. I mean, I just threw it away. I didn't know it. I did the dumbest thing. Now that I'm an older guy, I did the dumbest thing. And I thought I was doing something. I thought I was being something. And I did the dumbest thing. And the only reason that I can stand here today and tell you the things I tell you is because of power I can't see. Now, it might be all kind of ways that you say that you can't get the message. And you know what they are. I just can perceive a certain things. I don't really know your real problem. But I do know what I'm telling you is everything to me. And it is my responsibility, since I'm here in this body, in these late years, I have to tell you that there's a God that is the answer to your problems. Mankind, we got to love them. Yes, we got to love them just like they are us. But the greatest love that we could show them is snatch them off those pedestals and let them know there's a God, and it is not them. And we are not honoring them. We are not honoring people that pick up machines and going toward over place ready to bomb up other people and kill people. No, we're not honoring those kind of people. Heck no. Where they come from? They must have come from the pit of hell. We are lovers. We for life. Let me go. Talk to you later.